Not on my side.
If I can have your attention, I'll call the Board of Public Works meeting, August 1st, 2023 to order. First order of business, reading and approval of minutes of the last meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Matthew to accept the reading of the minutes as written. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims in the amount of $341,110.17.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment of claims as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Matthew, seconded by Ron, that payment of claims be made in the amount of $341,110.17. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll in the amount of $205,233.63.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew. Payroll be paid in the amount of $205,233.63. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Pension payroll in the amount of $88,667.30.
I'll make a motion to approve the pension payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew. Payroll pension be met in the amount of $88,667.30. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. City council payroll in the amount of $3,990.77.
I'll make a motion to approve the city council payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made by Matthew, seconded by Ron, that the city council payroll in the amount of $3,990.77 be met. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Old business. Seeing none. New business. Request from Anita's Boutique to close off the first half block of West 6th Street on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings to conduct an outdoor flea market. Is anyone here from the boutique?
I've got a few questions on this, so
I do too.
I think I'm going to make a motion that we table it until next meeting.
No one's here from Anita's Boutique? Okay.
I'll second Ron's motion to table.
Pardon me?
I'll second Ron's motion to table.
Okay. Motion being made by Ron, seconded by Matthew to table this because we all have questions that we need answered on this until we can contact Anita's Day Boutique, which will probably be in 2 weeks. All those in favor of tabling it for 2 weeks signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along. Request by the YMCA to host a pickleball tournament on Saturday, September 23rd from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Is there anyone here from the YMCA?
Yes, sir.
Come on up.
That's wonderful.
Go ahead and state your name and tell
Yep.
us what you want to do.
My name is Caleb Bragg. I'm the Aquatics and Sports Director at the Y. We are trying to host a fundraiser / informational gathering for Special Olympics. It's been about more than 20 years since we've had Special Olympics in Miami County, and so we're just hoping to have this event for information. Athletes can come try out some of the games that we're going to be offering, part of our programs, and we can sign up volunteers, participants, and everyone like that. And we're going to have a pickleball tournament wrapped into that. We'd like to use the pickleball area, and then the grassy area in between Miami's fort and the pickleball courts.
Okay, to read what was written here, we, the YMCA, are hosting a pickleball tournament as a fundraiser of Special Olympics. We're also planning to have an event centered around Special Olympics on the area around the pickleball courts. This will be for the information registration, tying sports, and a meeting.
General meeting.
And there will be free, it'll be free for the community. The event will be on Saturday, September 23rd, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
Any questions from the board?
So the fundraiser part of it, that'll be for people who are joining the tournament? They pay a fee or something?
Yes, sir. So the pickleball tournament is going to have a $25 entry fee. Everything else will be free, and that's that $25 is just for the pickleball.
I don't have anything else. I'll make a motion, we approve the request.
Second?
Motion made by Ron to accept the request of YMCA, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Next on the agenda is Animal Control is requesting a review of a dog bite incident. Greg?
So on May 21st of this year in the evening, I believe it was 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, it was a Sunday evening, there was an incident where somebody had called in Central Dispatch about a couple dogs running loose. There were 2 huskies running loose somewhere in the area of 5th Street. The dispatch then sent out a police officer to look for the dogs. At that particular moment, they weren't able to locate them. So they, later on, they received another call from 452 West 5th Street, where the lady there or the gentleman there had called in to say that there was just 2 huskies recently that came to his house, chased his cat onto their front porch, and there the dogs got onto the cat, and subsequently the cat ended up dying from what had happened. The next day when I came on to duty on Monday morning, I got the call from dispatch to go down and speak to the people at 452 West 5th Street. Spoke with them. She let me know at that time that they were in the process on Sunday evening to taking the cat over to Fort Wayne to the emergency vet hospital. En route, the cat ended up passing away, which she was still had the cat, so she kind of let me see. You couldn't physically see anything on the outside, but at that point, I took down all the information from what I'd seen. She had also had a video from her security cameras on her front porch showing the incident that occurred as well. So after talking to her, and then I got a hold of the owners of the Huskies, which is Lee Meeks, and I had a conversation with him, letting him know what had occurred. Told him there were at that time there was a possibility that because of the dogs getting hold of the cat, killing the cat, that we could go into the vicious dog situation with these 2 dogs. And then subsequently, that's what we ended up doing, is putting the dogs on the vicious dog. So at that point, Mr. Meeks didn't agree with the situation and how it occurred. So I told him that, we could do this meeting, and here we are today.
Was there an earlier incident involving these same 2 dogs?
When the owner of the cats, She requested a meeting with myself and you up here at City Hall, and at that point, she had brought it to light that there was another incident, I believe it was September of last year, that another person had video of this two huskies killing a cat on her property as well. It was at that meeting that we learned about it. I had learned about it after going back through and looking in September, but oversight on my part didn't follow through with that on that point. But it did occur. So that was what was brought to light, sorry.
So this then that we're here for today would have been the second.
This would actually be the second time, yes, that the two dogs had attacked and killed a cat.
Okay.
And so we know that the ones in the video, they are the same dogs, no question about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Mr. Meeks here? We'll step up and take the microphone. And
Hi.
we're here to listen to what you've got to say.
I'm obviously here to contest it. I assume nobody here has seen said video. And in the video, I've reviewed it myself. Basically, you can see one is white, one is like a white and gray smoky color. His name is Smokey, for obvious reasons. And so in the video, you see the white dog run past, not even think about coming back the other way. My other dog, Smokey, sees the cat, but he, comes over to come see it in no aggressive manner at all. And they disappear behind the square pillar in the corner of their porch. But you can clearly see that the cat is already out in the street before my dogs even arrive, on site. And all you can see in the video, which is the hind end of Smokey jump back like something just happened, and then you see the pursuit ensue onto the porch. And I believe, both of those dogs were born and raised in the house that we were currently living in. We actually just moved this past week, so we no longer live in town. Given everything that was told to me, I built a fence in the backyard. I, just tried my best to take all the precautions, but in the same respect, these dogs are, obviously I'm biased in my opinion, but they're not vicious dogs. They weren't raised that way. Anybody can walk in my house, doesn't matter who you are, and there is no fear of anything happening to anybody. Matter of fact, my neighbor is here to basically testify to that fact. His 4-year-old daughter likes to come into our house unannounced just to see the boys. That's what she calls them. And, just kind of shows the fact that they are not violent. They are just dogs acting like dogs. When they were on the lead, they'd see a bird, chase it, a squirrel. Cats, no different. It's just a dog being a natural dog. But as far as, other dogs, my dogs are always the victim of anything that could ever happen. They're big weenies. And, people, they've never even looked at anybody cross-eyed. Nobody's ever got that feeling out of them whatsoever. So, yeah, more or less, I'm just kind of contesting that. I'm not to be insensitive to the situation for what it was, but the first incident was actually a stray cat that neighbor down the alley was feeding stray cats, keeping them around, that block, and it has created a problem over there. So, number one, you just have a bunch of stray cats. I'm not, I guess, at the same time trying to justify what my dogs did, but I just don't see that out of my dogs unprovoked, and that's kind of where this, what puts the title of the viciousness is they're saying it's unprovoked. Well, based on the video that I seen, it pretty well looks like that cat did something to my dog to cause it to chase it. And meanwhile, at the time, my daughter and my wife were chasing him down, and I was on the phone with my daughter, and she starts crying to me saying that a cat is jumping on Smokey's face. And then she's seen both of them go after the cat, and they're, like a block and a half behind him trying to catch up to him. So as soon as they got out, which is the result of, I believe it was my son accidentally left our back door open. And normally the way we would do it at home is we have one harness because they play together and stuff, and they messed up the other two harnesses that we had, so we would let them out one at a time on that harness on a lead. And, I have a 8-year-old and a 12-year-old at home. It's hard to tell kids to keep the doors shut every time they go in and out for this reason right here that I'm standing here today. And, in my opinion, after seeing the video and kind of getting the facts, being on the phone with my daughter, it wasn't unprovoked. I am sorry it happened to the owners of the cat. Like I said, I don't want to be insensitive to the situation, but I just don't feel that, my dogs should be classified as vicious, because they are just simply not. And, I have many people that could vouch for me on that. It's just pretty much none of them could show up today, 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. Everybody's getting home from work still.
You say you moved completely out of the city?
Out of the city, yes.
Where are you living at now?
I am out towards Santa Fe.
On 19 or?
Yes, well, off of 19, but completely out of the city. We're out in the country now.
What's your address?
Honestly, I do not know right now. We literally just this past week, I'm still actually getting stuff out of the house on Main Street.
So, no doubt that the 2 incidents, the dogs killed the cats. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I was just trying to follow everything you're saying. So at some point, the cat swiped the dog. Was that on the porch, or was that after they were up on the porch?
That was out in the road.
Okay. And then the cat took off up to the...
Yes, it was
and then the dog
initiated
chased.
in the road, and then you could see the cat run to the porch, and then both my dogs behind it. And yeah, to me, when I see that, like I said, these dogs are biological brothers, and they were born and raised together, so there's nothing these dogs don't do together, so all a natural thing, I guess.
So, Greg, on the vicious dog thing, is it, obviously they're not mean to this child. Where are we at on that exactly? He's saying the unprovoked part.
Yeah, when you look at the ordinance, it's an unprovoked attack against a person or other animal.
Okay.
Other domesticated animal.
Domesticated
Yeah.
animal, yeah, sorry.
So technically, well, even the stray cat would be considered a domestic animal, I suppose. So if they're out in the street and the cat feels threatened and whacks the dog, is that going to be considered provoked or unprovoked now?
I never, when I see the video, I didn't see anything, for me, myself, I didn't look at it to the point where I would say the cat swatted at the dog.
You've seen them out in the street, though.
You can see the video of the dog and the cat out in the street, yeah. But myself, I didn't see where it looked like a cat swatted at the dog or anything like that. I didn't see any of that. So my looking at it was the fact that, it happened out in the street, and then they chased the cat onto its own porch, and then that.
Well, and another thing to add to that too is when that's happening on the porch, And you can see in the video that, as soon as somebody comes to intervene, they quit and leave. They don't even think twice. They don't try to go after any person or nothing. They turn around and they leave. As soon as they know somebody is intervening. I believe it was a teenager that came up on the porch in the video, and you could see him put his hands on the dogs, and they never once tried to snap at him or anything aggressive towards him at all.
All right,
Questions?
anything else that you'd like to say right now?
I think I pretty much got it all out.
Okay, I want to hear from your witness, and then we'll hear from the people that owned the cat.
Okay.
If you would, state your name, please.
Ian Durham.
Okay, what was it you wanted to say?
I'm basically just here to vouch for them dogs. Like you said, she goes in and out of the house all the time. Sometimes, most of the time, unannounced. Those dogs don't bother her or any of the other 50 other kids on that block that come over there and jump on the trampoline. They're super nice. I've never seen any of them do anything vicious towards anything.
Do you have pets?
I have a cat. Just recently, though. It's just
I'm just thinking,
furs.
the
Yeah.
smell would be on her. is
Yeah.
what reason.
Yeah, I do have, we have a cat now as of like a month ago. Yeah, I mean, I've only lived there a year and a half next to him, and zero issues that I've seen. I don't, other than just everything he said was pretty much what I was thinking, was gonna say that, you know,
All right. I appreciate you coming forward.
yep.
You guys want to testify on anything? If you would, state your name, please.
My name is, My name is Cheyenne Wyatt. Mitty was my cat. So there's a lot of things that were previously said that I don't agree with, and that video is available to rewatch. So in the video, Mitty, she had just went outside. She was an indoor-outdoor cat. I found her when she was a kitten outside and rescued her, and she never wanted to be totally inside. That's why she went in and out. So in the video, she's going down the sidewalk, and you can see my husband's blue Honda. On the corner of the road, there's like a little sewer drain, and she used to hide in there, and we should always like pop out in the wintertime. So, and the neighbor across the street, I didn't know we could have witnesses. She actually saw it happen from the other view. Mitty was coming down the sidewalk, saw the dogs. The first one, which I believe was the white one, ran past her, and she only ran towards the road to try to get into the sewer vent. At that point, it's blocked by the pillar that we have on our porch, so you can't see the interaction they have. Mitty had one eyeball. She was a runt. She was scared. She would never fight a dog unless to defend herself. So I believe she tried to make it into the sewer vent, was why she went into the street. And at that time, she ran up on the porch, which is where she would sleep at night if nobody was home to let her in. And that's where the two dogs got a hold of her. And if you also watch in the video, he said something about her being on the dog's face. The dog had her and was swinging her around, and she was onto the dog's face, and the little girl was standing on the other side of the brick porch. So I believe that is what they're referring to, not that she had attacked the dog. She was trying to get away from them. So that's what happened that day. And she did end up dying, and she was not afraid. He said something about the dogs totally stopping when they saw people. There were two teenage boys also in the video right there on the porch while this was happening, yelling at the dogs to stop, and they did not stop. They stopped when my husband started screaming and came outside with a gun, and they took off because he was going to get them, but didn't because there's a little girl on the other side of the wall, and he didn't want to hit her. So after that, they ended up taking off. Mitty did end up dying. I tried to get her to Fort Wayne, couldn't get her there in time. So that is the issue with that. But I also wanted to bring to light that the cat that they had killed in September, I actually did get a hold of that owner. Her name is Kathy Thompson. The cat that they killed was sleeping in its own yard, and those two dogs came in there and attacked it while it was asleep and killed it in its own yard. It was not a stray. That cat was fixed. That cat was taken care of. It just happened to be an indoor-outdoor cat like Mitty was. So those are the two owned cats that were killed. It wasn't a stray. But I did some research to get a hold of Kathy, and I also found out that that was not the first, those aren't the only two cats that they killed. They killed someone else's cat in August 2020, and what you can go off of this or not. And there's also multiple other people in these screenshots that also said that they had seen other cats be killed that were strays. So as far as documented, there's 2 on video, 1 that was a screenshot, and then however many other strays they got a hold of that no one knows about. So for that reason, I do think that they're pretty vicious towards animals. We don't know about people. 45 minutes before they killed Mitty, my 2 daughters were on the front porch playing Barbies, and if they would have chased that cat up there, there is nothing in my mind that says they would have not got mixed up in that. So that's just where I stand on that. And if you want to look at these, you can. There's also screenshots of his wife admitting that she knows that they killed that cat and blaming it on the fact that people feed stray cats, like that makes it okay somehow.
If you've got something you want to bring up, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So these are all the people stating that their cats or stray cats that they know of that have been killed are on there. I circled them. One of them was from August 2020, said it was the same family. There are also screenshots in there, many screenshots of those dogs being loose over the last couple of years by the owners themselves with pictures of the dogs saying, I can't find my dog's loose. So they get out all the time. It's not like a here and there. Kathy Thompson actually has her own screenshots where they were in her yard 3 nights in a row looking for her cats, trying to get them. In one of the videos, she has a video of them chasing her cat Cinders through the yard, but they didn't get Cinders. Tortilla was her cat that they killed. So they were trying to get the second one, but never got a hold of it. So, can you get to show her anything?
Is this the cat?
That is the cat.
Okay.
And the next picture is also the cat. So we were in the process of getting that cat made to be a service animal for my autistic daughter. It was her best friend that grew up from, since my daughter was born.
These aren't the dogs, are they?
Those are the dogs. They have 3 dogs. The grayish white one and the all white one were the 2 that did it. And they have 3.
Okay.
The blacker anyways wasn't there. And that's just Kathy Thompson telling me that she did report it to animal control when it happened and the screenshots of the communication.
The only thing is with some of this, just because they have 2 dogs running loose in the neighborhood doesn't mean it's the same 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was reading too. Some of these sounds like, hey, I have those in my neighborhood too, so. Okay.
And I did have, I'll go here so you guys can.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to make the comment that since we're talking about the niceness and kindness of the dogs, I did have a family member personally reach out to me and fill me in that they did have their own cats. I think there was 3 of them that they no longer have because those dogs, when they were growing up, killed them also. So that does not shine any light on the accountability of how unvicious they are. Again, that's hearsay, but there's also the 2 accounted cats that they have killed, and one of the neighbors came forward, apparently not this one, and said that they have just seen them open the door and let them run loose. So I'm just
Was your cat declawed?
No, she was not. But she was fixed and she was up to date on everything. She was taken care of. She just liked to be outside. So,
Okay, anything else?
I don't believe so. I do have all of those videos on if you would like to review them.
Anything else from Mr. Meek?
I would like to say something.
Okay,
if possible.
step up to the microphone, please.
Thank you.
I'm Crystal. I'm the mom of said dogs. Okay, there's Shadow, which is the darker black and white one, and he's the smaller one. He's 10 years old. He's never gotten out and or harmed any animals. The comment that she said about us having 3 cats of our own, we've never owned 3 cats. We did have 2 cats. One of the cats got out of our house, and we could not find her, and then the other cat was not killed by my dogs, my boys. It was actually killed by a female dog that I tried to rescue. I since then have rehomed her. She is with another family that doesn't have any other animals, no cats, and just has kids. Now my boys, they do not like cats. I've tried my hardest. I don't condone it, nor does my husband or my kids. We do not open our doors. We do not let them go. They have broken, snapped many leads, I've spent so much money on trying to keep them in the yard that we finally got a fence. But since all of this has happened, we have moved from the town inside of Peru. We now live in Santa Fe because we're not trying to have our dogs kill other people's cats. That's not our goal. And I just
Well,
wanted...
it is not our goal to destroy
Right.
your dogs either.
Right. Well, and they're not harmful towards people. They've never shown aggression towards anything other than cats. I don't know if it's just a dog thing. I don't know what it is. All I know is we try our hardest to keep them in our house and in our yard. But since then, like I said, we've moved out to Santa Fe. We have a fence up. They cannot get out anymore. We've made it to where they can't. But yeah, that's really all I had to say. So,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? If not, we'll take a 5-minute recess so that the board can talk this over, and then we'll,
I think you can do that off the record.
I can't do that off the
You
record.
can discuss it.
Okay. Well, we'll just discuss it here and then we'll come to a decision.
Then no 5-minute recess.
Okay? Give us a couple minutes.
Thing is, based on
Yes. finding of the board with the fact you have moved out of town. They are no longer in the city of Peru. However, the favor of the board's going to be that they are declared vicious.
I don't think we had a vote yet. We have to vote.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
But, okay. And the reason being is, should you move back into town?
It won't happen.
But should you do that, or the dogs get relocated back into town,
Right.
then, but before we make our final decision, I'll see if there's anything else you wanted to say. That's the way we're leaning right now, is due to the fact you have taken them out of the city, and you are living outside the city. We're still going to declare them as a vicious animal. Should you move back into the city, then you have to notify
Okay.
animal control.
Okay.
The biggest thing is that you even said it yourself, and I appreciate you being honest. Dogs don't like cats.
Yeah, they don't.
And based on the actual definition, I don't see any way that we could do, I could go any other direction. I have no doubts that dog is friendly to that little girl, because you're the father, and there's no way I can't imagine, I don't care how good of a friend you are, you're not going to let that happen.
Right, right.
But based on the actual definition, it sounds like they would go after a cat.
Yeah.
And it is, like you say, it may just be the breed, may just be the dogs, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
And dogs and cats are natural enemies.
They are.
I mean,
And it's a natural
regardless.
thing. I've seen cats dead on the side of the road by cars. That's where I'm getting at, like,
Right.
I don't know. I'm just,
So, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I don't either.
Do I have a motion to accept?
I'm going to make a motion that we uphold the Animal Control Officer Greg Douglas's findings that the animals be considered vicious based on the definition.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, to uphold the vicious dog ordinance against these two animals, that by them being outside the city limits at this time, should they be relocated within the city of Peru jurisdiction, you have to notify animal control of it being done. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Also, I want you to know that every member of this board is an animal lover.
Yeah, dogs and
Whether
cats.
it be dogs, cats, or whatever, we're not vicious against either or.
Right.
But we have to take what we feel is fair in a judgment situation on it. Our animals are our children, and I understand
Should be kept in the
that.
house is what I was getting at.
And I understand that. And even, whether it be a cat, a dog, a guinea pig, or anything,
Right.
it's still a member of the family. So,
I just got a quick question though. According to the ordinance, if a animal is labeled as a vicious animal, it is not allowed to be in the whole Miami County.
no, that's not exactly, that's not our ordinance.
It says that unless it's a police dog or a military dog, or they are confined into a special place designed for them.
But a city ordinance we can't have any control over anything outside the city, the 2 miles of the city limits.
Within the city limits.
I'm just saying that's what the ordinance says. It says.
Is that the city ordinance or the county ordinance?
It's apparently probably a county ordinance thing, because it says
Says
within
Miami
all of
County.
Miami County.
Well, that would probably be a county ordinance. I mean, we would have no control over that, and so it would be up to the commissioners.
Yeah, Greg will have to notify the county, then the county's actions at that point are on the county to do that. But he's a vicious dog within the city limits, at least at this
Yeah.
point.
Don't know, because the city and the county have different stipulations when it comes to a vicious animal, so.
It'll be up to them to decide, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to notify them of these findings here, and then it'll be up to them to take any actions or whatever. We have zero control over that.
Okay.
Okay, that, moving on, next order of business. Peru Police Department requesting a change of status for Jonathan Cruz to full-time. Says, Dear Board of Works members, I am requesting that probationary officer Jonathan Cruz, the employment status be changed to full-time. Officer Cruz had been on the Peru force 1 year on 7/11/23. He has successfully completed all mandated training required by the state of Indiana and the Peru Police Department. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully submitted, Dan Sofianis, Chief of Police.
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Matthew to approve Dan Sofianis' request to move Jonathan Crew to a full-time status. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Second part of the request says, Dear Board of Works members, I am requesting that probationary officer James Armstrong employment status be changed to full-time status. Officer Armstrong will have been on the Peru Police Department 1 year on 7/11/23. He has successfully completed all mandated training required by the state of Indiana and the Peru Police Department. Thank you for your time and consideration approving this request. Respectfully submitted, Dan Sofianis, Chief of Police.
I'll make a motion to approve Chief Sofianos' request to promote James Armstrong to full-time.
Second.
Motion been made by Matthew, seconded by Ron, to accept the request by Chief Sofianis to change his status to full-time for James Armstrong, probationary officer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along, opening bids for demolition of property located at 107 Daniel Street.
You knew that. We have one bid. One bid.
Don't we want to say, here's Kurt?
That's it. Okay. David and Susan Clemens bid $1,000. That's it.
So for
What
demolition,
was the minimum bid?
I don't know.
Did you say 1,000 or 10,000? I don't think that met the criteria.
I'll make a motion, we accept the bid as presented for consideration at the building department.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew, that we accept the bids be considered at a later date for $1,000 on the opening bid for demolition of the property at 107 Daniel Street. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving right along, rediscover downtown. Second Saturday street closures. Street closure for rediscover downtown Peru second Saturday events. Request street closure of West 5th Street from North Broadway to parking lot. Driveways from Flagstar and Marburger's lot.
It's exactly what you guys approved for last month, which was kind of our trial run for our new relaunch of the second Saturdays, and the 3 anchor locations seem to be going over well. We're going to build up the Arnie's Ace Lot, but that doesn't require any street closures, but we do want to keep Kids Corner with the bounce houses and things on West 5th for now through November, and then we'll probably not do outdoor activities in the winter, but that's still kind of to be determined.
So it would be August 12th,
12th.
September the 9th, October the 14th, and November the 11th.
Yes, and just for the record, Fall Fest is happening in October on the 14th all day long, and I'm coordinating with that event coordinator and that organization to make sure that we play nice together, and they'll make a place for our Kids Corner and/or our vendors, so there won't be any kind of conflict between the two things. We're going to just beef up their thing, or they're beefing up our thing, however you want to look at it.
Now, on second Saturdays, they were closing East Fifth Street too.
So that is from, for the farmer's market in the mornings, and that's over at 1 o'clock. And so then our event starts at 1.
Okay.
So we, because we have to set up the bounce houses and lay electric cables and electric cords, I should have said, and stuff like that, we just kind of want to make sure people aren't parking there, and we have time to set up our tents and things.
So the actual event starts at 1, but you need from 7 to 1
Yeah,
set up, basically.
yeah, we probably don't actually start setting up until 9, but if people are parked there, then we're in trouble trying to find them. And then same thing after 5 o'clock, it takes us about an hour and a half to tear down.
So what times are we looking at?
I think 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., I think is what I wrote. I should have written.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Did it.
My brain still works. What do you know?
Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. That's just strictly West Fifth because the east side's already been closed by the farmer's market and stuff until noon.
Yeah,
So,
and they tend to reopen pretty much between 1 and 1:30.
right.
Yeah, and we'll have porta potties on the sidewalks, so, but I know the museum also stays open in that area, and we're just trying to get a lot of businesses involved, so there's going to be a lot of activity outside of their businesses, and Kids Corner is kind of a place people can come and bring their kids, pass through, but the idea for the entirety of downtown is foot traffic in the businesses.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion been made by Ron, seconded by Matthew to approve the request for closure of Fifth Street on August 12th, September 9th, October 14th, and November the 11th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I do have a question.
Sure.
Is an 11/11 Veterans Day or something going on?
Veterans Day is usually Monday, right?
The Veterans Day is the 11th, but it's celebrated on the following,
Monday.
yeah,
Okay.
Friday or Monday or whatever.
Well, if there was something going on during that day, we would be happy to incorporate it, do whatever theme. We haven't really incorporated themes this year yet for second Saturdays to embrace veterans and whatever would make sense for that, absolutely.
Normally, they have something going on at the high school. They normally don't do anything downtown.
I remember a couple years back, they did the poppies on the courthouse lawn, and that was freaking freezing, so moving to the high school is probably a good move. But if they did something outside, we'd be happy to embrace it, absolutely,
All
if
right.
if they'd have us. Thanks a lot.
Any communications from the board?
No, sir.
Any communications from our clerk treasurer or our city attorney?
I know nothing.
Any communications from the audience?
Pete's got something, you can just tell it, he's jumping.
Sit down, please.
Chomping at the bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, question number one.
Step up,
Why
Mike.
the property's being torn down?
Step up to the mic.
I have to identify myself.
We need to hear you.
And don't start singing around.
Peter Sahidashni. I want to know, first of all, as a property owner, I'm curious, why is the house being torn down?
107 Daniels?
What's that?
That one at 107 Daniel?
107, yeah.
I believe it's already down, and this was supposed to be a bid to buy the vacant lot.
Oh, it's just a vacant lot, so
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, we're just, the
Okay.
city was trying to sell the vacant lot.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know. I thought maybe it was under the impression maybe it didn't make it into the tax sale or something.
No.
No, okay. And then my second question, maybe Todd could answer it. My friend works at Logansport Memorial, and they've noticed the congestion. Is there any timeline in terms of installing the traffic signal? I know it's been in the, under consideration to put a traffic signal at Forest and Main Street because of the traffic congestion. What?
That's on that second
Tom,
bid
the-
YMCA, isn't it?
Yeah.
The bids.
Their bids are out still, aren't they?
So the bids are
just-
out?
Yeah, they haven't awarded the bids yet
Yeah.
on that, so, but it is supposed to start very quickly
Yeah,
now.
okay.
On
So
the
it's gonna
first
go-
phase, and that's the traffic light and redoing Forest Street down through there.
Yeah, are they going to widen Fourth Street or not? Right?
Yes, it'll be wide and there'll be an island in the middle.
Hold on.
Did we decide on lights in the middle, didn't we? I think, yeah, it'll be lighted and white.
Yeah. Now, is that a project that will be completed by the end of the year? Do we?
I doubt
We
it.
don't know. So-
I would-
Have you seen that big check upstairs that says 2.75 million? It's right there by the mayor's office. That big check.
Oh, that big
That's
one
what
on the
that grant's
wall.
for. That's what that's for.
That's what,
So
okay.
it's out for bid.
Yeah.
And with that being said too, I just heard the other day where it's now up like $300,000 or $400,000 more than what that 2.7 is.
Almost double?
Bids are coming in higher than what the 2.7, so we
Okay.
may be redesigning
Yeah.
stuff too.
But we're definitely going to install traffic signals there.
There's going to be a traffic signal down there. I can't tell you when.
Yeah, okay. That's all I need to know. Yeah, thank you.
Unless you want to stand there with a little stop sign.
I was gonna say,
We just said
Dan has an extra stop and slow sign.
Yeah.
That's what they did on those railroad
Right.
sections.
Yes, they did, for years and years and years.
Anything else under communications? If not, we're up for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.